Whoa, just about busted it. Holy shit. Gotta stay in the fresh snow. One thing I enjoy about traveling alone, the reason I like traveling alone is because, for example, today I got up, went to a dispensary, of course. After the dispensary, I was like, you know what, let's do some hiking. Everything's closed down, so let's go do some hiking. Decided to go to Mount Evans. It was like, I don't know, 2 hours and 15 minutes away. Then I start driving, and I'm like 30 minutes into it, and I'm like, screw this, I don't feel like driving 2 hours. So I just looked for hiking right where I was. Found a little hiking spot, walked around, got lost there for a little bit. Phone died. I went to the store, got a charger, now my phone's charged. And I'm headed back to Ember Hostel.
Yeah, I use drugs. I can do what I want, bitch.
Headed to my fly fishing trip this morning. This is Friday morning. It's about 8:43 here now. I'm supposed to be there at 9 o'clock, about 15 minutes away. Got up this morning, just left Moe's Broadway Bagel Shop. Had me a sausage, egg, and cheese bagel on everything bagel. It was pretty good. It's my second time having it. Just a bagel shop that's really close to the hostel I'm staying at. But got some coffee here. Got some water. Ate about 4 edibles this morning. I don't feel anything yet. Maybe I gotta eat a couple more. But should be a great fishing day. Pretty excited about it. Never been fly fishing before ever. Never even picked up a fly fishing reel. So I have no clue what I'm doing. Done a lot of other fishing, bay fishing with my father all the time, deep sea fishing. But yeah, headed there. Stay tuned. Jar Mart. Hey, this is my guy right here. Yep, that's him. The little poles on top. Nice. Let's see what happens. Alright guys, so I just got my fishing license, did that online, signed a waiver that he wanted. Now I've been following them now for probably about a good, I don't know, 20-30 minutes. I guess we're headed to the river where we're going fishing now. Got all the snow. It got dumped on evidently before I got here. By the way, the edibles that I ate this morning, I don't know, I think it was like 8 o'clock this morning. I'm not feeling anything. I ate 4 of them too. We'll see. All right. Yeah, I might put you on YouTube, dude.
There you go.
I'm so excited. I can knock this off the bucket list.
The style of fishing we're going to be doing, at least to start, is what we call nymph fishing. We're fishing subsurface bugs below an indicator or a bobber.
Yeah.
You know, lack of a better term. Some people are really like snobby and they're like, no, we're fancier than other fishermen. It's not a bobber, it's a strike indicator, but it works just like a bobber.
Yeah.
We have to go with kind of these clear looking ones this time of year, just so they kind of more resemble like a bubble
Right.
on the water. Again, just trying to be a little more stealthy with our approach.
Smart.
To practice most of our casting.
Okay.
We don't want to get casting and everything down before we move into that, fishy water. That
Yep.
way, once, we're in the spot, we know we can get our flies looking right, we can get a fish to bite, we're like ready for it. Here's a good little spot. Stream flow of the river to load our rod so we can cast forward. And I like to teach that in 3 positions. The first one's the most important. So it's what I like to call the set position. So when I'm getting ready to cast, I'm going to lift my rod tip up and pointing downstream and up in the air at about a 45-degree angle. And the idea of this is you're just trying to pick the line up off the water.
Right.
If you don't have the line on the water, it makes the cast way easier. So line up off the water, we're in the set position. Then we're going to do something pretty subtle. We're going to turn our reel. Whichever way our reel's facing, that's where our flies are going to go. That's our aiming mechanism. You can still cast without turning that reel, but you got to really overcompensate with some wrist action. So
I got
turning
you.
that reel upstream is going to make this last motion a lot easier. Next part is where it becomes really important to pay attention and really work for making those flies look natural. So if I throw a cast out there, I have all that colored fly line downstream from the strike indicator from the bobber.
Right.
That's putting drag on the bugs. Right around here, I can see it starting to whip those bugs across the current.
Yeah.
And that doesn't look natural. Those bugs aren't very good swimmers, like I was saying.
Uh-huh.
What we're trying to do is get some gunk off of there, and we're going to get some gunk on the flies. Yeah, I throw my cast out there. I have to perform what I call a mend. So pick the line up off the water again.
Give it one slack.
Yeah, loop the line behind the indicator.
Ah.
The bobber's going downstream first. It's usually an indication that you have a good, what we call dead grip. And you notice how these flies aren't swinging yet? They're still going downstream.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of trying to eliminate all that drag on those bugs. So today, it's super important anyways, but in wintertime, really getting that mend in there and making those bugs look natural. See how that line's catching back up to that indicator?
Yep.
And throw another mend. Once I start to see it catch up, that's my cue to go ahead and throw another mend in there.
Cool.
And most of the time, you're probably not going to throw more than 2 to 3 mends per drift.
Right.
We have to get that mend in. If the flies aren't looking natural, these fish won't bite.
Cool.
So once we have those flies delivered...
It's not that bad. Not as bad as I expected.
No, it really is. And then once you do it a couple times...
I mean, I see them people throwing it back and forth like crazy. Like, what are they?
That's dry fly fishing.
Oh, okay.
That's fishing, top water.
Oh.
And that's really only you know, you don't really only dry fly when you see fish coming up and rising.
I got you.
This time of the year, they're going to be down on the bottom eating the nymphs that are in the water as opposed to on top of the water. So we don't have to worry about throwing those casts like that. Nice, simple casts, making sure we're getting our mends in there. And then once we have our flies, mended, we got our flies drifting, we have to point at the indicator with the tip of the rod. The reason for that is when we get one of these fish to take, you see, the bobber dips down or something.
Is that how you know you got one on it, when the bobber goes?
Yeah. Now this time of year though, don't wait for that bobber to just completely get pulled under. Some of those takes can be really subtle, where it might just kind of bounce real quick. Sometimes it might not even like dip down at all. It will just stop moving and then continue. Every little hesitation, you want to set that hook. These fish are lazy feeders, so they're facing upstream like this, eating the bugs that are coming their way. And if they eat our fly, and we set the hook in this direction, we're going to pull the fly right out of the fish's mouth. You'll feel them there real quick, and then we'll be gone.
So which way you set the hook?
Rule of thumb is the direction the water is flowing, that's the direction you set the hook. So pointing at our indicator, let's say it dips underwater a little bit.
Gotcha.
That's the hook set right there. Not a crazy hard one. You want to be quick with it, but you don't want to be setting the hook so hard that the flies
just snatching it out, right?
Drifting out of the water. So the hook set, I usually like to say, you're going from pointing at your indicator to pointing downstream. That's the hook set. Down and across motion, not a ton of power to it, put some speed in there. So we're casting, we got our mend, following our indicator, so that bobber dips down, setting the hook. Now if nothing's there, and this time of the year, most of those dips in the bobber aren't going to be a fish because we have to fish close to the bottom, so sometimes those flies are snagging on the rocks, snagging on stuff, and that's what's pulling the bobber under.
Yeah.
That's no big deal. Let's say that bobber dips down, set the hook, no fish there.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul. You just carry right into the next cast.
Correct.
Well, let's say that bobber dips down and you don't set the hook. That could have been a fish that we missed. So, you'll see me when I'm out here fishing. I'm setting the hook on almost every single cast. Any little hesitation I see of that bobber,
Yep.
you give it a hook set.
Slippery.
Rocks that are in there.
I got you. Whoa. Oh yeah, this current's moving.
So mend the other direction upstream. There you go. That's looking good right there. Go ahead and leave that. There you go. Keeping that nice pressure on the fish. The rod has to be bent over like that. You're good. No, don't reel. Don't reel. Let's kind of, yes, let him go. Let's do this. Let's come down with it. It's kind of low. So as you're walking downstream, go ahead and reel in while you're doing that. Again, focusing on the rod tip bend. There you go. That's a nice brown. There we go. Colorado River brown trout.
First one ever fly fishing.
Nice. That's a beauty.
Sweet.
There we go. Let's get him in the water. You always want to face him upstream. And he has to swim out of your hand. There's the release.
Sweet. That was awesome.
Nice job.
Nice.